crap, I have a rash. And also helps you to determine if the tick that was biting you has Lyme's or not, whether you should be concerned. If you guys are outdoors at all, you need to hear this. This is some really good information on how to handle a tick bite if you think you have Lyme's. Well, it finally happened. I got Lyme's. It was bound to happen eventually. Living in Southwest Pennsylvania, Lyme's is becoming more and more prevalent. But in going through this process, there are a few things that I could teach you guys that are going to help you. So, long story short, about 2 weeks ago, pulled a tick off of me, which I pull ticks off of me every once in a while. Usually so tiny you can barely see them, and those are the ones that actually carry Lyme's, along with I think a few other small ticks. The big ticks, the dog ticks, those aren't ticks that carry Lyme's. But they do carry Rocky Mountain spotted fever, which sounds to be even more dangerous than Lyme's. The funny thing is though, they treat it with the same antibiotic, I believe. Pulled this tick off me, realized it was fully engorged, which is actually where the problem lies, because when they become full like that, they start to regurgitate the blood they've taken from you, which is now carrying the bacteria in it. While they're sucking the blood from you, you're really not at risk, from what I'm understanding. And I thought, oh no, crap, I missed this one or something. I should have noticed. I've always noticed them early on. But I freaked out a little bit and said, well, if a rash happens, then I know to go to a doctor or something. Kind of forgot about it for like 4 or 5 days. Went to take a shower and noticed, crap, I have a rash. I'm like, man. So panicked a little bit. Thought in the morning I'll go to MedExpress. Went to MedExpress. By the time I got to MedExpress, it is now a bullseye rash, and I know 100% that's Lyme's. Doctor said the same thing. They did a test, a blood test. Even the doctor said that these tests aren't accurate unless you've had Lyme's for 2 weeks, up to 4 weeks. So what she did is she's prescribed me 2 weeks of antibiotics. Doxy, let me go get it real quick. Doxycycline. We're just gonna call it Doxy because I'm not even sure I'm saying that right. She gave me 2 weeks of that and said that for Lyme's, you are supposed to go 3 weeks. So she said after another week, you'd have to come back and try for a positive test. Test came back negative, which she called. So they suggested I follow up my PCP. So I called my doctor, went there thinking I'm gonna do a test. And the amount of information that came from going to my doctor was way better than MedExpress. So anyways, first thing the doctor says is, did you save the tick? And I was like, no, why would I save the tick? She goes, oh, well, I could have turned it in for testing to see if it was Lyme's or several other different kinds of bacteria that ticks can carry. And I was like, oh man, I didn't even think about it. Then she went on to say that there's really no point in doing a blood test because the test is so flawed. It's not a good test. She was on page with me and said, yes, it's Lyme's. What I should have done was went to her to start with, because she can take a skin sample of the actual location of the rash and know 100% if it's Lyme's or not, which would have been the safest thing to do, because it could have been, prior to the bullseye, it could have been other bacteria from a tick that could be messing me up. She proceeded to tell me that this whole Lyme's disease tick problem originated in Connecticut somewhere, in Lymes, Connecticut, I believe is what she said, and is spreading southward. And so with government funding, a place has been researching ticks to see how far they're spreading and how much of a problem this is in Pennsylvania. She actually gave me she actually wrote down on the paper that you lay on the bed with a website called ticklab.org. They actually, for free for Pennsylvanians, I think is what this is. If you pull a tick off of you, you seal it up in a bag. I assume you kill it. I would say kill it. Put it in a bag. You ship it to these people for free. They will analyze the tick and tell you what kinds of bacteria it's carrying. If it's carrying Lyme's or Borrelia, I don't know. Whatever's all kind of bacteria that they can carry. And it goes into their database, so it helps them research Lyme's in the area. And also helps you to determine if the tick that was biting you has Lyme's or not, whether you should be concerned. I guess the more people that send in these ticks, the better off everyone is to learn about this Lyme's. Maybe I'll put up a screenshot of what the website looks like, but yeah, ticklab.org. Moving forward, taking this Doxy. It seems to be working. I feel like I got lucky getting to it so soon, because I've had a couple different friends with Lyme's, and no, it's not good. And so, since I went so early, that lowers my risk of having a really bad time with Lyme's. There's people out there that's dealt with Lyme's for years and can't get rid of it. struggle to deal with life. So anyways, I'm hopeful that I'm gonna be fine. The rash is already clearing up after about a week of antibiotics. She did prescribe me my remaining week of antibiotics, actually 10 days. So now I'm gonna be taking this doxy for 24 days. So if you're ever in this situation, you're taking doxy, you're not to be outside because you'll get burnt, which I don't know if that means you can spray sunscreen and still stay outside all day. I actually went out and full-on sunlight for 20 minutes yesterday, and I'm not burnt, but I feel burnt. So I'm gonna do my best to stay out of the sun, stay covered up. I'm probably gonna chill at the house a little bit. I'm starting to make some baits. Well, I've already been making baits, but now this is like almost full-on production, waiting on some more materials. But yeah, some of the side effects I was feeling from Lymes for what I would consider a short period of time because I caught it so early was muscle aches. Almost all my muscles hurt. Joint pain. Almost all of my joints hurt. Headache. My neck was just like, felt destroyed. Full inflammation and just throbbing headache. Vision issues. I've been having vision issues with migraines and auras and stuff, but this seemed to have made it way worse. And if I looked at like light sensitivity, if I looked at a light for even a split second, that little orb, that lighter colored orb would just stay in my vision for like hours. It was bad. I was like sitting in my garage with sunglasses on with the lights off. So, and when I say joint pain and aches, it was really bad, very painful. But this is another clue to Lymes, is the Lymes bacteria itself isn't really doing anything in your body. It's not harming you, but your body thinks it is. So it tries to kill it with inflammation. And I also had fever. So that's all that pain I'm feeling was inflammation. My body, because the bacteria is flowing throughout my bloodstream, hitting different spots in my body, maybe even trying to hide from my immune system in different areas of my body, and it just causes inflammation and a whole lot of pain. So, but the funny thing was, just taking 2 ibuprofen was enough to almost kill the pain, the inflammation, almost completely. Also, with this doxy, you're not supposed to be consuming dairy. I think she said that it slows the absorption of the antibiotics. I don't know why that matters, but I just chose to stay away from dairy. Now, I'm not trying to turn this into being your doctor, but I think I covered a good bit of information for you guys to look out for. It would be awesome if you guys can send your ticks into this ticklab.org. And the lesson learned here is not that MedExpress is bad, but if you think you may have Lymes, go to your doctor. Save the tick, go to your doctor, have the tick tested, have a biopsy of your rash so you know 100% whether or not you have Lymes. Lymes isn't anything to mess around with. Other than that, you know, summer heat's here, dog days of summer, I guess. I'm just feeling lazy. Oh, that was fatigue and laziness. That's another thing I've been dealing with it. So, I try to stay busy. I try to make my fishing corner a little nicer and neater. I'll be improving on this in time. What else should I say? But yeah, overall, I think I'm going to take a little bit of a break from making videos. I have a couple that are going to come out. I might make some short things here and there. As for fishing trips, right now I'm just going to limit myself to on foot in the evening, out of the sun. Oh yeah, hopefully this helps you out. Thanks for watching.